All right, welcome back. This is live trading on 6/25/2025. So just as a reminder, I'm going to say this each time, just so it's clear. I'm just going to be narrating based on what I normally would do. I'm not like teaching. This isn't trading education. This is more just showing just how I execute, just on a daily basis, showing real results over time. So we got 10 a.m. news. Risk, all good. All right, let's go with chart. All right, so let's move this over here. Get some levels drawn out. It's really really expansive. Yeah, I mean, okay, just per the system, right? Most recently traded into time-based liquidity, right? Is that London high? There's a fair value gap down here. I would actually, I would consider this fair value gap. If we do trade into that, I'd be very interested by that reaction. But, yeah, that is London high trade into during the New York AM. Push through it with a fair value gap. We'll see. Just pushing right now. That's you'd probably expect. So previous day's high, it's traded into already. I'm just gonna draw out some levels, even though I think this is extremely unlikely it would go down here. Just gonna put it out, and then that's the lowest I'm gonna go with that. Really just expanding very much. 15-minute push. This previous daily high. This H4 external range liquidity. It's just pushing. That's the previous week's high back there. Held above, held above. I think it's very unlikely that we're going to move down lower right now, but I think we certainly could trade into that fair value gap or something. I need some sort of key level to gauge a reaction from. So daily, I'm just going to remove this for a second. It's putting in a fair value gap. I think it's very likely it's going to hold that fair value gap. So like, for example, I think it's extremely unlikely previous daily low would be met. We'll see how this, I think we're just going to honestly just sweep out all this. It's like last accumulation, expansion. I think it's just going to take all that out. What a beautiful, just reversal. Really amazing. People made a bag on that. I held it too, but yeah, I bag held that reversal. It looks like I didn't have any money. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have any money to put any more money in. That'll change soon though. So, daily took out external range liquidity. It hasn't formed a fair value gap yet. I think that once it takes out, or maybe we have more of an accumulation day. Like once it takes excuse me, once it forms this fair value gap, since it's taken out all this external range liquidity, it's potential that we might move into there. But as of right now, I think it's just daily. I'm just going to say is less conclusive. Weekly, yes, we're in a bearish ERL, which potentially, could have some bearish force to it, or I should say we're in a high, but like very likely, accumulation pushing out through up into these equal highs up here. I think that's very, very likely, extremely likely. H4, yes, it took out like this. This is previous days, so I'm just going to, oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. It's Asia low. There's also like, just kind of as like a perspective thing. We have this for value gap. So price traded into that for value gap, moved to external range liquidity. So yeah, if this pops back down, I'd be very interested in that reaction. So, we trade into that 4 hour for value gap. Price pushes away to external range liquidity. That Asia low became external range liquidity. Price attempted to trade into it, but it failed. It had a 15-minute, had a fair value gap, changed to stay delivery, pushed away though, held through the fair value gap. These are why I'm interested in these levels. I don't think it might not go back down to here, to be honest. Super expanding market, but so I don't see it as like an ERL to ERL move. I just see it as pushing through structure. So I would say that the H4 is bullish, to be honest. I mean, obviously, but like what I mean by that is even though we're in a bearish, even though we've traded into bearish level, I would still call it bullish. And daily, absolutely all the same. So any long, I'd allow a more full risk on, but any short, I would go conservative on that. Unless for some reason it was just like, we'll gauge that, but it would have to be like some like just absolutely atrocious dump. A lot of buying at that high. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna overcomplicate this. I do need a key level. I do need a key level to trade. I just think it's going to keep kind of going and not stop, and that's okay though. Doesn't really matter. I'm just antsy, to be honest. One thing that does bring me like, every time that like if we have just like super expanding markets where there's not even really like trades in 15-minute key levels after the open and stuff like that, if this ends up not doing that, but it's all like going up, I sometimes I'm like, I remind myself like I have like long-term bags that I hold in this, and it's like, oh, okay, something's usually up. Sometimes that'll be like down though, like sometimes it'll be expanding down, and or you lose and like your long-term bags are down on the day. It's like whatever. I mean, it's long-term bags, but still, it all equals out after the long run. So. Yeah, I definitely need to see some sort of, I suppose, this is a bearish level, but, oh, actually, yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, if it's a bearish level, recently it was London high, then you need a high. No fair value gap this one though. So this is it. interesting. Yeah, I would definitely need a fair value gap to form. So I actually take it back. I would not need these levels to be traded into. But this just seems a little far-fetched, to be honest, just because I was traded into so long ago. Think about this for a second. So let me just like, in terms of final terminus, like, any of those, we're talking like any level up in here, just like there. Yeah. So I would watch this. We haven't created any fair value gaps. Yes, there's a fair value gap down here, but it's not, once we traded into this level, no fair value gap has been formed. If it was, I would have entered along. I think that we can, it's a little bit, there's a lot of price action actually, to be honest. It's a little bit too, I think, I would have to probably use conservative risk on this again, but it's, London high was just traded into so early. Like this high, if we were back here, this would be a lot more interesting as a barometer for the previously traded into time-based liquidity. Yeah, I think that, let me keep this level open for a sec. And the reason why I chose this level intuitively was just that was like basically the level that broke through that previous level, held it low within it. We'll see. I am gonna watch this down on here though, just to kind of see if it does end up creating a fair value gap out of here. It'd be interesting if it like chugged down and took some of this out. I don't think it will, but I don't know. I have no idea what it will do. I just say that because it's holding bullishly at the moment. So I'm not gonna try and predict that shit. It's just like, and that is a mistake on my part. It's like, what do I need? It's just like, okay, the most recently traded into time-based liquidity was the London high. And it's traded into in session, it's just in pre-market. We push away. We have a bearish level for a bearish level, but that's a little too far. I want to see, like, I actually in this case would want to see this level traded into. But I'm still gonna watch this to see what happens there. Just because I would be, that is technically the system. It's just a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit far away. So I'm going to be a little more discretionary with this. Ideally we get down here, but I'm just going to kind of watch it. Hasn't really done anything yet after this high. Just keeping those buyers. Yeah, if it was with regard to this high, I would have to make it low risk just because of how far away it's been. It's been way too far away, too much price development to claim this as a very clear barometer of this. This I would allow for full risk. So we're going to wait and see what that does. And if it's, yeah, see if this forms a fair value gap. Expansionary market, just literally targeting all the way up here and just letting it ride is the way I would do that. Okay. Let's reload this. Come on, trading you. I don't think there's a fair value gap now. Oh yeah, there is. It's a small fair value gap. Okay, not anymore. This is the thing, it's just not. Okay, at this point, I'm definitely, I'm just waiting probably till 10. Because it's coming into 9:45 range, which I use lower risk on unless there's news during that time. Just gonna wait and see. You know, after it's traded into this high, it hasn't created any displacement. It's closed through highs, but it hasn't created any fair value gap or anything. So just waiting. See if this will push it down. Powell's done plenty of time. You know, he might say some shit. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I think it'd be pretty stupid to go short in these markets. Just objectively, I think it'd be stupid. So I'm not thinking of any shorts. I'm just thinking about like how I would evaluate a long. The only way I would take a short is if it was like some just utter, very unlikely, but like, you know, some very unlikely level of just disgusting push. It is probably more likely to be a consolidatory day, though, and I say that just because we did trade up into these levels here. This might be a smaller one, but it could also push it. It's not, I'm not going to just like completely discount that. Really want to see a fair value gap. Um, I don't necessarily mean in here. I just mean like whatever. I mean, always going to look for a fair value gap at the entry, but like I really want to, really, especially on a day like today, want to see like clear displacement. There was no displacement up through here. This looks like this is actually going to create a bearish displacement, but again, there's the context for it. Obviously, it's not in a very mechanical sense. Yeah, I suppose you could say that there is bearish context, but I'm not inclined on that. Using my discretion on that. This is just not a market that I'm looking to short. I mean, this is value. It is an area of value up in here, but that doesn't change the fact that we're just absolutely displacing like crazy up. So I'm more focused on, you know, liquidating lows and then moving higher. Just waiting for 10 at this point, most likely. Well, yeah, I suppose if it traded into all the way down here before 10 and bought up, then potentially before 10, but we'll see. I think it just got rid of the fair value gap. Wow. This really can fake people out. I mean, it's for real. Like, get the FOMO, buying point of control match for the selling. I don't know. Just intuitively, I feel like that's this makes sense, like a BPR. Look at that. All right, so yeah, definitely like we'll see if it'll come down into this level. Much more interested in it, like a long after that type of liquidation. It just is like much more appropriate, I think, for gauging a reaction. We'll see though. Want to see if it comes down into that level too. But I'd be more confident in gauging it based on this high. If say price ended up pushing back up, I'd be like, okay, this is higher probability. But we'll see if it trades down into that region. Area of value. It's not. We'll see it. We'll see if price will hold away from that or not. Definitely chopping sellers down there. Yeah, for sure. Certainly on this part of the candle. It's not as much shown here, but Definitely, if it doesn't trade into this level, definitely gonna wait till 10. Um, just prefer, because I want it'd be like a low risk, and I'm not trying to do that. It doesn't make any sense if I do that now. I'm gonna stay on here till 10. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, we got this huge run. Definitely just waiting till 10. Didn't trade into any 15-minute. Yes, it's like an order block, but didn't trade into any 15-minute key level. Looking more at this high, yes, I'm interested in it. Pushed away, pushed down. Now as we're pushing back away, but I'm going to wait till 10 just to see, well, for risk purposes, just because it would have to be low risk. If I was to take a trade now, there is order flow and displacement in response to that level. So, but there is just not the time because of the lack of this key level for me. It's just using my discretion. I need to wait on that. So. would want to see like from these fair value gaps, bullish order flow created. And it might do it on that candle actually. Just gonna, in case it does, I'm gonna measure it out. Alright, just gonna see how 10 opens. Right. That's wild. What is wrong with this? There we go. Gosh. Okay, let's. That's blowing my mind for a second. Okay. Still trying to like use like a fat ass tick size. It's not giving me any information. Okay, this. God, this looks so much better. Oh my goodness. So much better. Alright. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be very, very clear if it just swept all that out. Took out these breakaway gap stops. It's interesting to see how it reacts to that, but I'm still focused on this key level right now. I mean, clearly it's, been a key level. I mean, price is playing within it, liquidating within it, doing all these things within it. It's an important level. So come down to this level, buy up, sure. Got 43 more minutes than I'm on here for. But I'm on the 1 minute because either way, either be low risk long from where it is now or a more full risk long at this point as well. I would say it's consolidating, right? And so, after consolidation, what do we anticipate? An expansion. So just waiting on that, But yes, I would say it's consolidating. This is where everybody's getting chopped. I mean, even you see all the big candles, big displacement, it's like, damn, I'm missing the move. And then it just erases the whole thing. want to see clear displacement if it's going to. Alright. There's a lot of buying in that. See if it'll take out and flush into these levels. Oh, so much liquidity right up front running it. Damn. It's like ruthless. Slippage wicks are just ruthless. Slippage wicks. Alright. We might consolidate all day. I don't even know. I mean, I did happen to say, maybe I am on the right path there, that the day is a likely consolidation, but just gonna let it do its thing. I think it'd be very high probability long if it swept into these lows. The amount of accumulation that occurs, sweep and push away. Even if it did it from right here, I think it'd be still relatively high probability. I just have to lower the risk on it. If that changes state delivery, let's see if that just flushes down in. Oh. Oh my God. There he goes. Alright, very, very interested in the reaction to this. If we were to get a bearish reaction, what would I do? If we were to get a bearish reaction, I would short it, yes. But truth is, I didn't even anticipate it to go all the way down into this level. But I think that this is a fair barometer for gauging higher pricing now, given the time-based movement that we had. So, watch how price reacts to that. Very high volume. Negative delta into it. Let's see how price reacts from it. If it gives very bearishly, I'd trade down to London low or Asia low. Particularly Asia low. I don't think I'd put full risk on though, just have to see the clarity of the reaction, but given just the long, given this, I don't want to be like full risk shorting in this. But if it was a very clear reaction, I suppose. This previously high daily. Yeah, in theory, yes. Like very mechanically, yes. And very mechanically, shorting would be a more ideal scenario from this. But for me, I'm using some discretion, and no, it's not. So I want to see how this reacts. It's been consolidating. I deem this entire thing consolidation for the past, 2 hours and 21 minutes. We'll see if we, in the next 30 minutes, get a clear reaction. And this could be very, very clear long if it ends up showing some energy. It's not yet at all. See what happens here. Fair value gap was immediately, not fully actually. Okay, yeah, a fair value gap was immediately taken away. So if there's not a fair value gap, I just deem it consolidation. Like this whole thing here, not one fair value gap. And then what happened? This had a fair value gap, right? These fair value gaps were respected down. So I'm just waiting. There's no fair value gap from this price action right now. I feel I feel like an angst with it. It's just like there's just no, I'm just waiting. Waiting for a fair value gap has probably increased my trade win rate by 20%. I mean, it's actually ridiculous. I can't say that for sure yet. I know that it's increased it by 10% at least, which is huge. Huge. Day win rates probably stayed a little bit the same, but, you can look at that in the weekly review. It looks bearish, But if it were to put a bullish fair value gap in and displace it, it'd look bullish. So, uh, yeah, we'll give it a look. Swept liquidity within the level. Let's see if swept liquidity within the level had an attempt at a bearish at a flush and it trapped those sellers. Because I almost sold. I would have sold if this had held a fair value gap and held down like that. I would have sold, but it did not hold a fair value gap. I would definitely long this if it held a fair value gap, and I would need. There's no actual like down closes. This fair value gap would have to be inverted. That's the only other confirmation, and then I'd long it all the way to those highs, and we'll see. We will see. We will see if that is inverted. It's just consolidation is like, consolidation is like, expansion is a fair value gap to me. So it's like, if you go out, you have a fair value gap, that's expansion. And so, from consolidation, the only possible state of price delivery that can come from it is expansion. And so that's why I like to look for a fair value gap. Let's see if this will sweat liquidity from that fair value gap. Anything. I mean, literally any direction. I'm for it right as of now. It just depends on how this price reacts to it. I could sit here all the way till 45. It might not even, 25 more candles. It might not actually do anything, and that's very possible. But we'll see. Got like passive selling. What is that premium of that? Yeah. For value gaps, right? A premium of it. I would be much more interested in a long than a short. I would absolutely go low risk on a short, just discretionarily. If you look at this whole leg in price, in a discount. If you look at the whole, like from London, we're still in a discount from London low. And so a lot of passive buying is likely to start coming in. Where do you anticipate that? In a fair value gap, right? So it's very aligned here. This would be a very long stream though if it took, depending, I don't know. I'm not even gonna think like, that's just so not a problem. A lot of RDRBs. See if we can't get an expansion. Kind of looks like a squeeze wants to occur. The downside, I would do a low risk to London low if it did. Held a fair value gap, liquidate these people. Really just waiting. I mean, the amount of chopping going on today, people are just getting so chopped. I just remind myself of that sometimes. Anytime I'm antsy or anything, just you're not getting ripped up. And it's yeah, that's true. To me, we're consolidating on the 1 minute, consolidating on the 15 minute. So from this 15-minute key level, if we get a 1 minute expansion, it's likely going to be a 15-minute expansion too. This looks like it'll likely create a fair value gap. Squeezing it. I just need to see a fair value gap hold again. It's you can sweep out all these people and go back higher. You want to see a fair value gap hold. Unreal. Wow. No fair value gap there. It's just so crazy to me. Wow, that would be quite the long if that pushed away from that type of sweep. That would be no joke. Still need bullish order flow. A change in the state of delivery would do. Wow. Let's see if this will do it or not. Wow. Always could lose. But yes, I would put a full risk on this for sure. If it does what I'm looking for it to do. Really far. Okay. I'm just gonna let that candle print a little longer, but stops will be at this swing failure pattern. Kind of want to see it invert that gap, to be honest. But it will have given everything that I need if it creates a fair value gap. Ideally, inverts that gap as well. All right. Did it not execute? Okay. Jesus Christ. So, this is a full risk long. Fair value gap, inverted, all that shit. Reaction's clear. Take profits, just going here. We'll see if it'll hit or not. 22,743. It's kind of falling back in the range, but we'll see what she does. Sick. Wow. Okay. Well, see if that'll buy up or not. Let's make sure that is the right spot. I wouldn't be too crazy about that, but yeah, that's the right spot. Reclaim that POI. I mean, you'd really want to see that inverted back. God, I hate this fucking slippage. Look at that shit. Oh my god. I'm actually, I'm going to target these highs. And there's a reason I'm going to do that. And it's that I don't think we're actually going to get a big expansion today. And I'd rather target a little bit more around 2R. But let me just kind of keep it there for now. And then I'll gauge that in a second. But I hate that slippage. I'm in heavy, so like when I see that, I don't like it at all. Like that would double my loss if I got in on that. And so, you know, just kind of tightening up in a way of that. we'll see if this will continue. I'm actually going to, just given that that did progress quite a lot, I'm actually going to bring my stop loss up. And I kind of hate doing that, but because there's not really displacement. But the truth is that price went up about 1R, and I don't want to see it reverse all the way back down. Part of that's trailing drawdown. Like, yeah, my auto liquidate just like, oh wait, no, never mind. It didn't change too much, but just over time, I don't want to see that coming back. So stop loss is at this low here. And so this is, I would just call this the 2R region. I will allow for take profit to go higher because that's, let's see here. If this does hit, stops would be right. Or, sorry, there's this. Yeah, that did create a fair value gap as well. This price action's freaking me out, I'm not gonna lie. It's just freaking me out a little bit. I don't like seeing that type of ridiculousness. Part of why I'm keeping my take profit here until we get closer is just in case it does something like this where it just like wicks like crazy up and then it just can take me out on that, and I don't care if it's 2R. This would be a fat fucking trade if that hit. So, like really fucking fat. See if this will do. Anyways, this is a pretty significant amount removed for right now because I really don't want to see that erased given that level of progression. We'll see if it will continue from there. Let me see where we're at. Yes. I agree with that stop loss placement. It also is just a little bit of a protection against slippage if we do have some crazy fucking slippage. You know, I want to see expansion happen from here. I don't want to see it chop around because we just consolidated for so long. I want to see, given that fair value gap, given sweeps of liquidity and fair value gap, I want to see that continue. So just going to leave my stop loss where it is, and if it gets hit, it gets hit. We'll see if we have any more progression, and then I can move it more. So this is the first full risk trade I've taken on a stream. So we'll see what it ends up doing. I just really don't want to get fat fucking slippage. That's the only thing, is this price is freaking me out like that. Come on, NASDAQ. Give a little push. Stand up for a second. I need to stand up. One thing I'm doing is I'm thinking too far in the future, and I'm thinking about price, like putting in bullish for value gaps and displacing up, but it hasn't done that yet, and so I'm not going to move my stop loss anymore. My stop loss is at the correct place. I have to accept the risks that I've placed. And yeah, I mean, it's not a large, like, it feels like it would be a large loss if it hits, just because of how low I've been risking in the past few weeks, but it would not be a large loss. It'd be half of my average size win, which is how I like to keep it. So that's given there's no death slippage like that fucking candle that's to the left. So be sick if it hit though. It'd be about a $20,000 trade if it hit 25,000, depending on how far it hits. We'll see. Get some water. I mean, that's if it hit all the way to that high up there. So, come on, Asda, give a fucking squeeze. I don't like that. It's like it has everything it needs to buy up, and then it didn't. Just a little worried that if it does, move down to stop out, it's gonna just fucking liquidate really hard, and then yeah. So just like that. Oh my god. I almost want to close the trade because of that, to be honest. Like the way it just keeps doing that. Is it just like such low volume or something? Yeah, it is. If that pushes up, changes the state of delivery, I'm in my stop loss to that low. Because I would not want to see it traded back into that low. So we'll see, but see if it'll liquidate these people. That would be lovely. Nice. Yeah, I don't want to see it traded into this low. Uh, yeah, no, yes, I do not want to see it traded into that low. Especially if a fair value gap's created, but let's put it right. I have no mouse pad and it's blowing my fucking mind right now. Okay. Jesus Christ. I agree with my decision making. I don't want to see it traded into that low. It has everything it needs for a squeeze, literally everything. And it's, I don't want to see it keep getting pushed down. I removed over half the risk on this trade, which if there was slippage, it'd be a normal size risk. So it just is kind of, again, a protection. Let's see if this will, I really want to see it. It'd be amazing if it could hit that high. Because that to me is where it's going to really liquidate. But if not, I have my stop loss where it is. So, because I see it as low resistance all the way up in there, as long as we can get up into there. High volume positive delta or negative. It's actually negative delta. It's interesting. Yeah, I really want to see those sellers trapped. Stop loss is in a great place. Just gonna let it be. It's not giving me it's not really giving an expansion. So we'll see what it does, but who knows, it might expand. That would be ideal. In the long direction. That would be ideal. And I have to pee, of course. Been on here for an hour and 15. I'm not comfortable going pee at the moment, though, because of how close it is to... We're kind of getting to a point of squeezing. Always have to go pee at the same time. Come on, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Point of squeezing. Does it go up to that high? Should. You should, NASDAQ. If it trades into that high, liquidates them. Probably be a fat liquidation. We'll see. Okay, it hasn't traded into it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, NASDAQ. You can do it. Liquidate them. No, what are you doing? Oh my God. Wow. Are you fucking kidding me? To the tick. Liquidate them, fucker. God, it's like, who is up there? There's like some big dogs just like mad. Okay, it didn't really liquidate them, but it did progress. I do have to go pee. I'm gonna leave it right now. Be quick. So, gonna move the stop loss to these candle bodies right here. Jesus Christ, this price action is ridiculous. I'd like to see it. I may actually change my mind on that and go a little bit higher of a stop just for holding that squeeze. Because you would, like you say, oh, you want to see, you don't want to see. Just I'm being a little more conservative, given that it's kind of like more full risk, and also being a bit more. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, let me just like do something real quick. Replay it to here. Next candle. Move stop loss to that low for sure. I hate doing that, but because it's like literally about to liquidate it. But all right, fine. That sucks ass. Sucks ass. There, it liquidated the other one too. All right, whatever. So essentially break even, but I hate this fucking shit. It's not cancellation, but like there's no auto liquidate going on. It just keeps doing this shit. Fucking annoying. Can you get out of my way? Oh my god, Apex, get out of my fucking way. It's like so fucking annoying. Get the fuck out of my way. God damn it. It's like not helpful. Okay, there. Pisses me off. It was like just did I lose some? Yeah, I did lose some. I did lose some trailing drawdown. So we moved it to here. God damn it! That was like I thought that was gonna. Honestly, I thought that was about to like flush in heavily. Pisses me off. Really fucking pisses me off, actually. But I did survive it though. But really pisses me off. To me, I see it as like it's a consolidation, right? And then it expands. It creates a fair value gap, pushes, through, squeezes those people. I don't want to see that just get completely reversed. So I trail it to the low here, low of that displacement. And, I have to be real with myself on that. So I'm out of trades for that. Look at that. I mean, again, it's not like it's a bad fucking stop loss placement. Just fucking pisses me off that NASDAQ didn't follow through on that because I wanted that. I wanted that win. $20,000. It's whatever. There it goes, just liquidating everybody. I want just Powell probably. Powell says something, but so annoying. Yeah, I'm absolutely done. It's past my trading time, so done for the day on this. Lost a little. Yeah, it wasn't just a. I lost about $50 of trailing drawdown, even though I was break even on the trade. So what is that? 20. It's like $1,000, and it's like kind of like a true loss of $1,000. But I mean, that's nothing. Again, this is. It's crazy. Like when I trail like that, and then it just liquidates like the whole trailing. Like I trailed to here, then it went to here, then it went to here, then it almost went to here. It's like insane. That's honestly how you maintain an edge in the fucking markets. I'm learning. It's very small decisions like that. Because that's the difference between, if I was down here, it would have been like a $2,000 loss. Nah, yeah, because it would have liquidated down here, so it would have been like a $2,000 or $3,000 loss. If I kept it down here, it would have been a $5,000 loss. If I kept it down all the way here and it loses, then it'd be like $10,000 loss. Because I put about 10 grand on this. What did that run to? Is it 1R? I swear people like get so afraid. It's like you see 0.9R and it's like the end of the fucking world. I'm feeling frustrated by these markets recently, to be honest. It's been low risk for me or just not following through. Now at the same time, you look and it's like interesting because like we've had huge expansion. But I think when it comes down to the time in the session, it's just like, yeah, I'm not capitalizing off of it as much with this, but it's the system, I have to follow the system. And so, this was I think it was a very valid trade. I'm going to reflect on the end of the week. I'm just break even on the week, and it's like, I'm getting angsty, just because it's been a while. Like I had, early or mid-May, I had one big week that's basically been, and this is all an evaluation for $1 million still. And usually I'd want to get, I talk about this in the weekly review videos, but I mean, ideally, that's completed in like, a couple days or a day, but this time it took longer. It is taking longer. And I'm not going to break my risk management system just to pass an evaluation or, not, but so. But I'm tired of being on a fucking evaluation. Maybe it'll run now after it liquidated, but I don't know. I'm not gonna enter because it's past my trading time. All right. Well, we got what? It's Thursday and Friday. We got 8:30 news. Just something that I have realized. It's like if we have a couple days where most people get chopped up, you're likely going to have a day where it just fucking pounds. And so, that might be tomorrow, that might be Friday. We'll see. But, for me, I've kept my account balance the same as it was at the beginning of the week, a little lower, very, very small lower. And my trailing drawdown is about the same as well. It's just a little bit lower. And so, in those cases, like, it's, I'm now available. I'm available for when that bigger movement happens, for when that, in session movement happens. I'm available for that. And so that's really, really important. I find confidence in that. Again, it's like if I were to lose a $10,000 trade, it's like, it's okay. Just reduce risk as trailing drawdown reduces, bring it back up as I start winning again. It could be I win the next trade and then I'm already back up. But risk management, trade management, those are the things that are so important. Price almost never hits my take profit. Price almost never hits my take profit. I mean, this is like just a very final terminus. It's like, imagine like holding all the way to that. It's like, but it very often will hit 2R, and so that's why I take money off that and just all that stuff. So anyway, I think that is it for today's stream, and who knows, maybe felt good getting the juices flowing though with the full risk. We might who knows, maybe it'll be another opportunity tomorrow. So.